영어 동화 세상 리틀팍스.
The Jungle Book, Chapter 1, The Man Cub. It was a very warm evening in the jungle. The moon shone brightly into the mouth of the wolf's cave. Father Wolf woke up from his day's rest and yawned. Mother Wolf lay nearby. She kept her nose on their 4 tumbling, squealing cubs. Father Wolf stretched.
It's time to hunt again, Mother.
Just then, a shadow with a bushy tail appeared at the entrance of the cave. Father Wolf frowned. It was Tabaki, the jackal. The wolves disliked Tabaki because he was always looking for food. They were afraid of him too, because he was cunning and had a bad temper. Sometimes he ran madly through the forest, biting everything.
Come inside and look around, Tabaki.
Father Wolf said with...
I might find something,
Tabaki replied. He slunk toward the back of the cave and sniffed around. Soon, he found an old bone with a scrap of meat.
Thanks for the good meal,
he said, licking his lips. He stared at the tiny wolf cubs.
I must say, your children are beautiful.
Mother Wolf moved closer to her cubs. She and Father exchanged nervous glances.
Oh, by the way,
Tabaki went on.
Shere Khan has found some new hunting grounds. He told me he will be hunting here for a while.
Here? Mother Wolf said in surprise.
But he has no right to hunt here.
Father Wolf exclaimed.
Shere Khan must stay near the river. That's the law of the jungle.
Tabaki laughed.
Shall I tell him about your concern?
Out!
Father Wolf snapped at the jackal.
Go hunt with your master, Tabaki. You've bothered us enough for one night.
I will go,
Tabaki said quietly.
But remember my warning about Shere Khan's new hunting place. You can hear him right now, in fact. He's below, hunting among the bushes.
After Tabaki was gone, Father Wolf stepped below in the valley. He could indeed hear the low snarls of a tiger. Mother Wolf came out and stood beside him.
It sounds like Shere Khan is not hunting animals tonight. I think he is hunting humans.
Father Wolf flashed his white teeth.
There are plenty of beetles and frogs in the jungle. Why must that tiger hunt humans?
Mother Wolf grunted.
Ugh.
An important law ruled the jungle. Animals were not supposed to hunt humans. The tiger's snarls grew louder, and then there was a howl. The wolves could hear Shere Khan tumbling about in the bushes. He was howling in pain.
That foolish tiger probably jumped at a human's campfire. It sounds like he burned his feet,
Father Wolf said. Mother Wolf twitched one ear, listening carefully.
Something is coming uphill.
Dropped low, ready to pounce. But then Mother Wolf let out a gasp.
It's a man cub.
The tiny human blinked as he stared into Father Wolf's face.
Father,
Mother Wolf whispered.
Quick, bring that man cub into our cave.
Father Wolf stepped forward and closed his jaws very gently on the child's neck. Then he carried the boy into the cave, dropping him near his own small cubs. in wonder.
He's so little.
She said softly. The young boy was squirming between two cubs to get warm.
Look at that. He's not afraid of us or the cubs.
I've heard of young humans living with wolves,
Father Wolf said.
but I've never seen it in my own pack.
Just then, the wolves heard something and spun toward the entrance of the cave. Tabaki had returned, with the tiger Shere Khan.
The boy is here, Master.
The jackal said eagerly.
I see him.
Shere Khan, your visit brings us great honor.
Father Wolf said politely. But his eyes sparked with anger.
What do you need?
A human cub went the... Give the man cub to me.
Luckily,
We take orders from the head of the pack, not from you.
the tiger's furious roar filled the cave. Mother Wolf sprang forward. In the darkness, her eyes looked like two green moons as she faced Shere Khan.
Not be killed. He will live to run with the pack and to hunt with the pack. Now go, Shere Khan.
Father looked on in amazement. He had forgotten how fierce his mate could be when she was angry. Shere Khan backed away from the cave.
We'll see what the pack says about that human cub.
He snarled.
He's mine, and his life will end in my teeth.
Mother threw herself down among the cubs as Father watched the tiger stalk off.
Shere Khan spoke the truth about one thing.
Father said with a sigh.
We must show this cub to the pack. Do you really plan to keep him?
Of course I'll keep him.
Mother snapped.
The poor little creature came at night, alone and hungry. I'll call him Mowgli.
She added.
One day, he will hunt Shere Khan, just as that tiger has hunted him.
Father was worried.
What will our pack say?
The law of the jungle was very clear. The pack protected young cubs. The pack wasn't likely to protect a human cub.
We'll deal.
Parents to show their cubs to the council. On the night of the next pack meeting, Father and Mother went to Council Rock. The wolf cubs and Mowgli ran after them. Council Rock was a hilltop covered with stones and boulders. Akela, the great gray wolf, lay across a rock. He had led the pack for a year now. He was a wise, strong leader who knew the ways and customs of people. It was very quiet at Council Rock. All the parents sat in a circle. In the center of the circle, the cubs tumbled over one another, playing. One by one, the wolf parents showed their cubs to the pack.
Look well, O wolves!
Akela cried. The mothers anxiously repeated the call.
Look well, O wolves!
Mother's fur quivered. Wolves say when they saw the odd-looking man cub. The Jungle Book, Chapter 3, Mowgli. The small man cub sat in the circle with the wolf cubs. He was playing with some white pebbles that glowed in the moonlight. Father Wolf nudged Mowgli forward with his nose.
Look well, O wolves!
Akela cried, as he'd done with the other cubs. Before any wolves could respond, a muffled roar came from behind the rocks. It was Shere Khan.
The cub is mine.
The tiger growled.
Give him to me. Look well, O wolves!
Akela called.
Look well upon this cub.
The law of the jungle was that how the pack accepted the wolf cubs.
Who will speak for this cub?
Akela called. Mother Wolf tensed. Ranimal was allowed at the pack council. It was Baloo, a sleepy brown bear who taught the wolf cubs the law of, so none of the other jungle creatures feared him. As Shere Khan stepped closer, the brown bear rose on his back legs. He grunted loudly.
I speak for the human cub. Let him run with the pack. I will teach him as I teach the other cubs.
Who else will speak for the human cub?
Akela called. Just then, a black shadow dropped down into the circle. It was Bagheera, the Black Panther. The wolves quickly backed away from him.
Akela, I have no right to be here.
The Black Panther's voice was as soft as honey dripping from a tree.
But the law of the jungle says a cub's life may be bought. Am I right?
Yes!
A few young wolves replied eagerly. The young wolves were always hungry.
Akela,
One wolf called.
listen to Bagheera. The cub can be bought for a price. It is the law of the jungle.
The Black Panther smiled gently.
Be spoken for the boy. If the rest of you accept him, I will share some delicious food with you. It's a fat bull, freshly killed.
Mother Wolf looked at Father.
Why is the panther speaking up for Mowgli?
She said. Father shrugged. The other wolves had gathered to discuss the situation.
The boy will die in the winter rains.
One said.
He will burn in the sun.
Another added.
What harm can a little cub do?
Come on, let's let him run with the pack.
Finally, the wolves agreed to accept Mowgli. Mowgli sat calmly, playing with the white pebbles. Akela's cry rose as they each inspected him.
Look well, wolves!
Soon, the pack started down the hill to eat the meal promised by the panther. Akela, Bagheera, Baloo, and Mowgli's family stayed behind at the rock. With a furious roar, Shere Khan stalked away from them.
Roar all you want, tiger.
Bagheera muttered.
I have a roar for another reason, Shere Khan.
Akela turned to Mother and Father Wolf with a smile.
Humans are very wise. Perhaps your man-cub can help our pack in some way.
Mowgli's parents nodded their thanks. Then, Father Wolf turned to the bear.
And thank you for your help today, Baloo. Please begin training little Mowgli as soon as possible.